Good to see you again, Wally.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Tom.
Good to be here.
Don, how's everything going?
Awesome.
Paul?
Had a good night's sleep?
Yeah, you guys all, well, it's easy to sleep well when the putting is good, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
It's easy
Yes.
to sleep well. All right, how did everything go yesterday? You guys enjoyed it?
Like the drills.
Loved it.
Okay,
Yes.
good. It's good stuff, all right? Did
Yeah.
anybody work on it anymore?
Yes.
Then we kind of had a short turnaround. I figured you would. You're such a grinder, you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. All right, so what we're going to do today, we're going to work on chipping our shorter shots around the green. Remember we talked about yesterday how if we're building our game from the inside out, what I like to call it, so we started with putting, so you guys are all great putters now. So now you can't be scared to hit a bad chip because you know you're going to make it anyways. So now we can get a little bit more we can build more confidence, be a little bit more aggressive with our chipping. So what I'm going to demonstrate for you guys today, I like 3 main chips. I like the low checker, the low runner, and then the high flop shot, okay? The high flop shot, you don't use that often, or I try to stay away from it. It's not my personal favorite. I really like the low checker, and the low runner is great. So here, if you guys could stand over here for me, I will demonstrate what we're working on. So this is a 55 degree, and feel free to use this with any clubs you guys want. It's all personal preference. I like my 55 degree. This is kind of a little shot here. What I go to is I like the low checker. I'll demonstrate that one first. So what I'm going to do with a low checker, that's kind of that shot that kind of lands once, checks, and then kind of rolls out. You kind of keep good control of it. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to keep the kind of line up a little bit off the heel. My face is very square with my golf club, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it a little bit outside and kind of almost cut across like I'm hitting a little fade shot. Does this all make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to take it a little bit outside, kind of line up off the heel, and cut it a little bit. What that does is has a little spin on it. You kind of control that if you don't have as much green to work with. Okay, does that make sense? All right, any questions? No. All right. Next shot is our low runner. This shot is a great shot for anything that's kind of a rough lie. I mean, you kind of got like a little hill here to like a far pin. I mean, I have a 55 degree just for demonstration purposes right now. What I'm going to do is kind of toe in my club a little bit so the face is a little shut. Does that make sense? Like I'm going to hit a draw. So I kind of have it, and I also have my ball lined up off the toe. If you guys can all see that. Can we all see that?
Okay.
Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to swing a little bit from the inside and out. I mean, that's a little drastic. But what this does is it takes all spin off of it. So what the ball is just going to do is just going to land and keep rolling. Okay? So this shot takes a little bit of, you got to spend some time working on this shot, I think. Well, it's not, it doesn't come as easy to me, but some people love this shot and hate the low checker. So it's all kind of personal preference here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line it up a little bit off the toe, face shut, take it inside, kind of swing out like I'm hitting a draw. As you can see, that ball went a little left. What this shot has a tendency to do is move a little left because you've got the face shut and you're swinging from the inside out. So that with that face shut, it really kind of pronates left. So what I have to do, I have to aim a little bit right. Does that make sense? And hit that low checker. But the beauty of the low runner is, if I can make this divot, Paul, if you want to come over here and go ahead and step on that. Give it a nice light step. There you go. All right, so you guys saw Paul stepped on that. Not our best slide here, right? Yeah. We don't really like this slide. What I can do with the low runner is it feels a lot more solid coming out of really bad lies. So you're in a divot, you're in kind of like a bare spot with no land. Paul, you talked about how you don't really like thin lies. This is a good shot maybe for that, maybe with a little less loft. It's going to make it feel a little bit more solid. So what I'm going to do is kind of toe that club in, little shut. See how that comes out a little bit closer to normal pitch shot. I mean, that was kind of in an indent and then Paul stepped on it. I mean, I feel like that shot maybe 10 feet is okay from there. Okay? Our last shot we'd like to touch on is the high flopper. Now this one isn't used as often because usually you only want to use it if you're going over water, over a bunker, maybe the pin's really close to you. So what you're going to do, you're going to kind of line up a little bit open face, a little bit off the heel again, so really close to a low checker, just not as square a face. The face is a little open. Okay, and we're going to make that same swing, kind of a little outside in, like we're hitting a big cut shot. What that's going to do is hit it high, land soft, not roll as far. Okay, so now that I've demonstrated 3 shots, do you guys have any questions on those, or do we want to get into and start working, then I'll walk down the line and help you guys out.
Is it easier to do the first two with less loss?
I think it's all a personal preference thing, honestly. I would say it's easier. I would say I think a wedge is always easier to hit than a 60 degree, or even like an 8-iron is easier to hit than a 55 degree. So I think you can just kind of got to play with it, which is the beauty of this, because chipping's kind of all feel. So I mean, whatever club works for you the best. I mean, sometimes people love their 9-iron around the green. Me personally, I love my 51 degree. Okay, so it's all kind of personal preference with chipping. I mean, you got to kind of play to your strengths. All right. So if you guys want to go ahead and get demonstrated, I'll walk down the line, kind of help you guys out, figure out what shot works best for you. Don't be afraid to wave me down. All right, if you guys want to use pick a station.
I have a question about where your contact is.
Go ahead.
My contact is, you can see it. It's not in the center. And a lot of times it's out here, a little farther out than that. Is that because I'm trying to hit a low runner?
That could be. Well, what we want to do, even when we're lining up on these shots, is we want to hit it off the center of the face.
Yeah.
Okay. But we're lining up at different spots because the swing path is causing it to come off this. We want to use the swing path to make it come off the center of the face. If that makes sense. So we're still trying to hit it in the center, but we're just lining up at different spots because our swing path is changing. Does that make sense? So if we're going to line it up off of if you're going to try to hit a low runner, line it up off that toe, and try to hit it off the middle. That looked very good, Don.
I'm going to hit a low runner.
Well, a little low checker there.
That's what I'm trying.
Low checker looks pretty good. You're going to hit low runner. We want to kind of get our hands in front of the ball there. Toe in that.
Didn't finish my backswing.
I thought that was fine. I thought that looked good.
It was a little jerky.
A little jerky, it felt jerky. So you got to develop a little rhythm. Go 1, 2, get that internal clock moving. I thought that was really good. Keep working on that. Wally, any questions?
Not yet.
Okay, doing pretty good. Low checker, low runner, or are you just working low
I'm
checker?
having a total difference. What's the difference? I don't see my results being different.
Okay, go ahead. What are you chipping with?
800.
Okay. Now hit a low runner for me. Kind of toe that iron in. Yep. Set up. A little off the toe. Toe that in. And we're gonna swing this way. Okay. Makes sense?
Right here, way out here.
Well, we want to still try to hit it off the center. We're going to try to hit it off the center of the face. Line it up off the toe. Line it up off the toe. Okay. Don't be afraid. Hit it. What are we working on down here, guys?
Low runner with a short face.
Low runner. What are you chipping with?
I got a two-wedge.
9-iron? Okay. Wedge is probably going to be anywhere in between like a 49 and 53 degree. Probably
Up here is on my right toe.
So we're just making a nice soft swing. Don't feel like you have to hit it hard. Let the loft do the work. Let the club do the work. That's the key to chipping. Let the club do the work.
Oh, nice ball.
Tom, how you doing? Done.
Good.
You working on?
Just, what do you call it?
Low run.
low checker.
Low checker?
Yeah.
All right, so what do you do?
It's not checking.
Kind of line it up. You line it up a little bit off the heel.
Okay.
Our swing path
Okay.
is really going to kind of follow this line, the low
Okay.
checker. Does that make sense? So we're lining up off the heel. Okay, and then hit down on it for it to go up.
Okay, so where's my line going up here then?
Wherever you
So I want to do.
I think this chip is probably gonna move a little right. So I
Yeah.
think you probably gotta land it somewhere just
that's
right of
it.
that hole and let it turn left.
All right.
You know, so you want to aim it at that spot.
And I play it off my right foot.
Yep.
I got an open stance.
Make sure you're comfortable. Really good, Paul.
That's supposed to be a checker, but it's not checking.
Pretty good. Really good, John. If you're going for that second ball.
Yeah.
Yep.
On the flop shot,
Yep.
when I play a flop shot, I want to do
Yep.
You know,
Flop
so-
shots have a tendency to go a little right.
right. So
Okay.
yeah.
So if anything, you would aim a little bit to the left.
aim to the left. So you're aiming over there.
Yep.
And you're swinging across.
Yep. Yep. Very good. It doesn't have to be so vicious. Very nice and light. Very good. See that?
Yeah.
That's
So-
pretty good. Very good there.
So the ball position is off your left foot or off your right foot?
Left foot is going to make it go higher.
Yeah.
Right foot is going to make it go lower. Generally on a flop shot, you're probably going to want off your left foot because you're trying to hit it higher, right? Wally, how we doing?
Well, we're trying the flop shot.
Okay.
Trying to
Any luck?
Trying to open up the club more.
Okay. Go ahead. Slide your feet a little bit back towards you. We want to kind of throw our flop shot off more of our front foot. That kind of pronates it going a little higher. So you keep coming more towards you. Yeah. Go ahead, set that down. Set that down. Give her a little open. Now we're going to take it a little outside. Let the toss kind of just. Now this flop shot is what we really want. This is kind of the similar movement to what we want to use in the bunker. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Need some more?
No, I got enough.
Okay. Good.
Thanks.
All right. Any better, Paul?
Yeah.
You still working low runner, low checker?
No, that was a low checker.
Low checker. I like that one.
If I wasn't, I don't normally use this club, but I bought it just because I don't hit it very well.
Okay. So what, Paul, when
I use
you're
a 56 with a bigger flange.
when you're hitting a low checker, the higher your takeaway comes, the higher the ball's going to be. Does that make sense? So if I take it away like this and hit a low checker, it's going to go higher. If I take it away closer to the ground, does this make sense? So this compared to this. Yeah.
You think I was coming out too sharp?
Too steep. Yep.
Really?
Try to keep it a little closer to the ground. See how that brought the ball flight down a little bit?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Okay. Get you some more. All right, guys, if you could go ahead and just stop for me for a sec. Just stop for me.